Hello everybody, welcome to part 2 of starting the paper crafting hobby. If you haven't seen part 1, there will be a link at the bottom of this video and I highly suggest you start there. This video is specifically geared for people that do not own very many paper crafting products, but they want to get started into the hobby and they go to Michael's or Joann's or online even, Simon Says Stamps, and they're feeling a little overwhelmed with what they're gonna need. They want it all because everything looks so cute, but perhaps they don't know, they don't need it all at first, and how to start building and things that you can, that once you do have, you will use forever and you can make a lot of projects out of. So for instance, I started saying that here are some of my basics: ribbon, punches, cardstock, pattern paper, glue and scissors, of course, sticky foam, etc. This is a project that if you just get the things that I mentioned, you're already set to start creating this. So this project, which is not finished, you could get it up to this set with just what I mentioned. I used some paper bags from my kitchen, and this just uses paper punches, pattern paper. This flower you could even cut yourself with scissors if you don't own a flower punch. And instead of a brad, you could put something else in the middle to embellish it. Some ribbon, and that's pretty much it. So next thing you're going to need, the next set of things are that I would recommend are flat back pearls and bling. And if you are confused by what I'm talking about, I'll show you some. This is what I would recommend. You start with, this is a larger recollection set. There's a smaller one. This one's, I believe, $6.99. If you don't want to get, this brings a lot of pearls, which is my favorite, one of my favorite ways to embellish projects. I make a lot of very girly projects. I wouldn't put pearls for men projects, but most of my projects will include a pearl of some sort. So I get the biggest recollections pack that I can get of pearls. They have a similar set that's like this. This is the bling that I'm talking about. You can get something like this in pearls and start out. And actually, this, for example, brings 134 pieces, and I believe is $3.99 at Michael's regular price. I'm giving regular prices out because even though most of these things at least once during the month will be 40 or 30% off. If you just want to get started right away, I don't want to mislead you or have you waiting for 2 or 3 months between rotations of what goes on sale for you to get all of this. The next thing I recommend on my set of would be nice to have but not necessary is a Cuttlebug. Cuttlebugs are a little pricey. At regular price, I believe they retail at around $80, $85. Most of the time you can find them on Amazon for about $54, $55, maybe $60. And with that, it only includes one embossing folder. You're gonna wanna get several embossing folders. You can get those online for very inexpensive, but you're gonna wanna get at least 4 or 5. You can get embossing folders also at Joann's or Michael's. Joann's has Doris, which is a very inexpensive brand. They're very, very deep, so sometimes they'll damage your paper, but at first they work great, and I can show you, and you can see different techniques to try to help your paper not break so much when you put it through a Doris folder. Those folders you can get a lot of the times during the months, 2 for $5, so $2.50 each. And they will change your paper crafting projects forever. People, when they get something that's been embossed, dry embossed through a Cuttlebug, definitely sparks their interest. People that are not paper crafters, even men, I've seen different men that have seen some of my cards, some of my projects, and they just keep touching and touching the paper, and they think, wow, that is really cool paper. I don't know where you get it from. And once they realize it's something that I make, they're blown away. So it's a very inexpensive way. Once you do purchase a machine and you have that on hand, cardstock is basically all you need. It doesn't wear off. The machine doesn't wear off by you putting cardstock and embossing it through. So it's a great, great, great investment. Next, I would recommend getting baker's twine, and I'm trying to find some baker's twine to show you. Let's some that is cute and has different colors. But I must have misplaced it because I cannot find it. So this is actually Baker's Twine also. My big recommendation with Baker's Twine is get it at the dollar store. The dollar store, I think, is a Dollar Tree, is the kind where they have a small section of Crayola scrapbooking, if you will. And you can find Baker's Twine in different colors for $1. That same pack at Michael's is normally $3. So, I mean, it's $2 saved, but every little bit counts. Then brads are really great to get. If you go through Michael's, through their brad section, they always have a feet on clearance. For instance, they've been having these really cute, is this an oyster? Clam brads. For a while, these have been on sale, and this one comes with 3 colors: white, bronze, and gold. This one's another kind that you can get on sale after Christmas is done. These brads, however, I use them a lot. Whenever anybody buys something from my store, I put a little thank you note and I try to make it really cute, and I always put it together with a gold paper brad. And these ones I got at Walmart for $1.99, and I believe it brings 300 or 200, but it brings a whole lot for a lot less than you would at find at Michael's. Then chipboard. So I did mention that with the main things that I told you about, you could make this this project with these first 10 things. This is assuming you eat cereal and that you have cereal boxes at home. If you have cereal boxes, don't throw them away. You can use the cardboard. It's very similar to chipboard. You can use that for your books to create the actual outer layer of the book. If you don't want to use cereal boxes, you could just get actual chipboard. It's relatively inexpensive. The one that I like most, I find it on Amazon.com. It's a Silhouette brand, and actually I get it because I can put it through my Silhouette. I wouldn't recommend that one for bookbinding, however. I use it for bookbinding and it works for me, but my favorite type of chipboard to use for bookbinding is really, really thick, and you just get it per sheet at Michael's. Hobby Lobby does have a pack of this, but it only brings 2 12x12s. It brings 2 of each one of the sizes and 3 sizes, so you get 6 pieces, but the other sizes are smaller, so you're confined to those smaller sizes. Then the next thing you're going to want to get is glue dots. Glue dots are wonderful. They're a very, very thick type of adhesive. You're going to use it for fabric, plasticky type stickers, or when you're trying to glue a very thick piece of paper that's been very worked to something, another piece of paper, you're going to want to use a glue dot. Score tape, and I believe I have some here to show you. So here's some glue dots. These are the Zots. This is kind of what it looks like. There's several other brands and other configurations you can get them. I normally go for the smalls, the tiny to smalls. This is the first time I've been using mediums. They're a little bigger than what I like to use, but they work okay. This is score tape. I get mine on Amazon, sold by the actual maker of the score tape. My biggest recommendation is when you're getting score tape, they have different combinations of, this is the 1/4 inch and they have a 1/2 inch. I use 1/4 inch on mostly everything. I hardly use the 1/2 inch, but if you want to give it a try, they have one set that's like 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch for $8.99, or you can just get 4 sets of these for like $16.99. So there's different configurations depending on what type of projects you're going to be making. If you're going to only be making scrapbooking or card making, you really are not going to need this very much. This is more for this is very thick, very, very thick type strong adhesive. It's great for boxes, mini albums, or gluing fabric onto paper. Next is tweezer bees, and mine look like they've been through a war. They're full of adhesive. I use them a heck of a lot. It's great. They're great to pick up small things or even larger things, or if you want to pick up a piece of paper and you're going to be putting your heat gun through it. This is great for when you're using, when you're embossing. If you've already cut out your paper on this label and put your sentiment, stamped your sentiment on it. This is too small so that if you're holding it with your fingers will get burned. So your tweezers are great. They're great to pick up little pearls. I mean, you're gonna use this. This actually should be on my basics. I don't know why I put it here. And there's a few things on my basics that I would probably put here, but this you're definitely gonna need and use tons. Then a ruler, also part of your basics. I put it on your, it's nice to have because most people will have rulers in their house. So if you have to get a ruler, if you don't like the ruler that you have at your house, it's not large enough, then I would recommend a 12-inch ruler at least, if not larger. I don't use T-scores, T rulers. They have like a T at the top and they help you get a 90-degree angle perfect, because otherwise you can do crooked lines, believe it or not, with a straight ruler. It's up to you. I don't really need it. I feel fine without it. And then lastly, my last recommendation is a Silhouette Cameo. So I haven't talked at all about dies. I think they're great. If you own a Cuttlebook or a Sizzix, or if you own a die cutting machine, having dies is the next step. I quickly realized that for the price that you get a die, you could get a lot more out of a Silhouette or a Cricut. Let me explain. So this punch is a Stampin' Up! Punch. It was, I believe, $16, $17. It only cuts this shape. It's heavy, it's handy, it's really easy to use. I can pick it up from my craft room at any moment, put some paper through it, and just get my paper cut in this way. Dies are about a set of dies are normally going to start out at around $12 to $15. And the sets that have all the different shapes are normally going to be $25 or $30. You can get them for less with a 40% off coupon, but you're still only confined to those shapes, to those sizes. If you buy them at regular price, or let's say they're $25, if you buy 4 sets of those dies, you're spending $100. If you buy 8 sets of those dies, you're spending $200. For $200 and something on sale, you can get a Silhouette Cameo. A Silhouette Cameo comes with basic shapes, and you can copy and paste shapes from the internet very easily. You can resize those to whatever size you need. So if you're doing a scrapbooking album and you want this shape but you want it this big, you can make your silhouette make it that big. You can make it a lot smaller too if you just want it to be a lot smaller than this, and it'll cut just a whole lot more than just this shape. So that being said, if you plan on buying dies and you like using dies, I highly recommend them. I still own dies. I still buy dies because sometimes you don't want to turn your computer on, or it's just easier to do a border with a die. For the most part, I go to my Silhouette. It is an investment. It's, like I said, at least $200. If you buy it full price, I believe it's $270. That's almost $300. That is a lot of money to spend on something you're starting, which is why it's at the bottom of my craft list. But once you do get a Silhouette and you spend that money, your possibilities more than quadruple. If you look through any of my blog projects, you'll see that most of the time I'm using my Silhouette. Some people will argue that that is depreciating the hobby because you're now relying on a machine, and if we are all cutting shapes with machines, they're all going to look the same, so there's no talent there to be put that in, or no creativity. I don't believe so. I don't agree with it. I believe that that's just a starting point, the shapes that I buy or the boxes that I buy, and then how I choose to decorate them, how I choose to change them, or how I choose to adapt them to my life and what I choose to make with them. That is my creative process. That is where I find my creative outlet, and I'm able to enjoy this hobby. My mom did end up purchasing a Cricut. She ended up purchasing, this was a couple of years ago, like I mentioned, so she purchased one of the older versions. She still uses it very much with Cricut Craft Room. She's able to change a lot of shapes, and even being confined to cartridges, which are kind of pricey, she still is able to get so much more out of the hobby than she would without one. So I hope this helps. Like I said, I'm going to be putting this list together in a much prettier version. I'll potentially put prices, base price, so regular retail price, and then always remember that you can either use a 40 to 50% off coupon. They're out there almost every single week for Michael Joanne's, Hobby Lobby, and AC Moore. And there's also on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, Michael's will have a 20% off your entire purchase type of coupon. They're just trying to bring people into the stores at odd times during the week. So just keep your eye out on that. If you're able to use those coupons, that list will become a lot more cost accessible. I hope this helps, and I hope that if you're looking at these videos and you're thinking about getting into the hobby, you see some of what we all make, and it's a great community. We all try to share our knowledge, and it's a great hobby. I highly, highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing your comments.